Okay. I can't forget our ass hat quote. You picked me a little one. A baby ass hat quote. In Mormon church, they literally pass you out scriptures or things to read in class on strips of paper just like this.
Oh god, I accidentally made it relevant?
You really did. Wow. It's David O. McKay.
Oh.
This is from 1952.
Okay.
True motherhood is the noblest call of the world. And we look with sorrow upon the practice herein our own United States of limiting families. A tendency creeping into our own church. God forbid you think your vagina is not a clown car. And you don't have a dozen children. God forbid. Vaginas are not clown cars.
Words to live by. The age-old question of the day. How religious were we?
I was pretty darn religious. Like, I followed all the rules, but I think it's because I'm a rule follower. Like, I don't think it was because, like...
In your heart you weren't?
Right. I don't think it was because, like, I really, like... I wanted to believe it all.
Yeah.
And I wanted to... I think I'm just a rule follower. I think I just wanted to follow the rules. And the church had the rules, like, laid out for me. And I wanted to follow those rules.
I think that structure gets a lot of people, though.
Yeah.
Like, you get things laid out for you. You have to do this at
it
this
was
age.
Easy.
You do this at this age.
It was easy.
You do this on this day.
Yeah.
You go here on that day. Because you were, like, born and raised.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Born under the covenant, as we call it.
Good.
So, if, your parents are married and the temple is sealed forever, and then they have children, those children are born under the covenant. So, you're born sealed to your parents forever.
But
I mean, I guess I'm not anymore.
I was going to say,
my
but are you
membership.
now? It's still so weird.
No, I'm not. I mean, my sinning took care of that before I resigned.
Yeah.
I was sinning plenty.
So good Mormon child.
Yes.
It was great to be 8.
More or less. I mean, I don't think I knew what I was... I mean, as much as an 8-year-old can know what they're doing, I knew what I was doing.
Do you really have an option, though? Or is it like...
I mean... Okay. So my aunt, who likes to start fights. Well, we'll say her oldest son. Because I think he's the oldest of the boys. He has autistic tendencies. He does not like water. Does not like water.
I can see a problem.
Yeah, because the Mormons don't sprinkle. Mormons dunk. Full immersion.
Okay.
Full immersion, just like Jesus, okay? We do not sprinkle. So, he was really afraid. Like, he was like, no, like, that's water. Why would I do that? And I didn't go to his baptism. I wish I had. But fine, I think he was 9, maybe almost 10. He decided, and I believe that he decided. My aunt and uncle, they're good people. I mean, besides the fact that my aunt likes to pick fights on the internet, they're good people. And they're great parents. They really are good parents. They would do anything for their children. So he decides he wants to get baptized, but he's going to wear goggles. Because he thinks that'll fix.
Yeah.
I mean, the autistic mind is, it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
I mean, people who are autistic, I just want to, study them. Like, it's very interesting, the things that, and it makes sense. Like, okay, you don't like water, you don't want it in your eyes, okay. So I'm sure my uncle baptized him. I wasn't there, but I'm sure that's who did it. And he did the thing, and he came up out of that water. My mother told me this, because, my mom's a funny lady.
Was she there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
she was there.
First-hand experience.
First-hand account here. He comes up out of the water and goes, "That was awful."
Yes.
Can't disagree with the child. He had decided he wanted to do it.
First words of the newly baptized.
Right. I don't think he'll do it again. I mean, I don't think he'll, go be baptized for dead people. Maybe he will. I don't know. Was it? But, I mean, you know, like, I think there's certain circumstances where in different people decide that, no, like, my kids will do it when they're ready.
Yeah.
And I guess he thought he was ready. But it was awful.
Aww. But he did it. I'm proud.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
proud, you know? I didn't really get it, the whole anything about kids in the Mormon church. Like, I had a couple Mormon friends growing up, and, like, I did never see them on Sundays, because they were in church a lot and stuff.
Well, yeah, you're in church for 3 hours.
But I didn't know all the things, and so when I worked at Office Depot in the print shop, the Mormons came in to get their printables from the Pinterest, and all this crap about, like, great to be 8, and...
Oh, yeah, people, like blow it into this huge...
Get it. And they would print, like, little cards for all the things, and I'm like, what? I actually Googled what the was, because I'm like, okay, what are these people doing to these kids? And then I realized, like, oh, and then I'm like, they just get baptized when they're 8, like, okay.
So, like, when I was a kid, and mind you, I love my mom, but she's not the most festive of Mormon mothers. Like, she likes to sew. Like, that's her Mormon crafty thing, is she sews. But, like, other Mormon moms, they scrapbook, and they make cards, and they do announcements for everything, and, like, they do a big party for everything. Who has time for that?
Who does?
But, like, when I was a kid, like, I felt like we got baptized when we were 8, and it was cool, and it was celebrated, but it wasn't... I feel like they make a big production out of it now.
Yeah. Pinterest tells me anything about it now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there wasn't Pinterest when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you lived in Wyoming or northern Idaho, far away from all the Mormons in Utah, you didn't know what the cool thing to do was when your kid got baptized.
Yeah.
Now, thanks to the internet, we know what the cool thing to do is when your kid gets baptized. You have a great to be 8 party.
You die inside because it rhymes.
Right.
I can't remember. There was one little, like, set I saw, and I can't remember what the other pictures said, but it made me die inside, too.
Yeah.
Some crap about rainbows.
Oh, no.
I see the rainbow, or...
Like, after, like, Noah? Like, after the flood?
It's something about...
Follow us on Instagram, by the way.
Do it.
If you love us, and you want to return to us in the celestial kingdom, you'll follow us on Instagram. Ooh, 93 followers.
Ooh. If you follow us on Instagram, we'll be sealed forever.
Forever. I don't feel like that's a good way to follow us.
Probably not.
I don't want to be stuck with us forever. We're weird.
We're pretty cool.
Yeah, but we're weird. But in a good way, mostly.
Yeah. We digress. But, I mean, you did the whole, like, normal youth things.
I did the normal youth things. I did seminary. As much as I could stand to.
What is that, just like church before school for an hour?
Pretty much.
Basically, yeah.
Pretty much.
What I thought.
I mean, like, I feel like they were supposed to get, like, a little more, like, into the scriptures than we did, like, in Sunday school, which is bizarre when I say it like that. Like, I feel like it was more of an intense study of the scriptures. But... yeah.
Because church and everything else isn't enough. You have to do it before school every day.
Right. Well, I think it's an attempt to, you know, keep your kids so busy that they can't give in to the influences of the world.
Oh, okay.
However, I remember... this is bad. There was a guy. This whole family was weird. I mean, if I find out the dad of this family molested every single one of his kids, I am not going to be surprised.
Oh, God. That's...
They were all weird, and the dad was creepy as hell. Like, super creepy. Like, child molester vibes, creepy. So one of his kids had a girlfriend, and I swear all they did was make out in the parking lot in his car. I don't think they ever came into seminary, but his parents, he had to go to seminary.
Oh.
So he'd go pick up his girlfriend, and they'd make out in the car in the parking lot. At, 6:30 in the morning, because... that's what you do.
I'll keep the name in. Who is it?
I don't know if you know them.
It sounds like people I knew who did that.
It wasn't brother.
Ew, not what I was thinking. And then as an adult, you went to church for a while, or?
I went to church in the singles ward from the time I was 18 until I was 20. It's like 24, 24. Yeah, until I was 24. And I worked. So I went to beauty school. I did hair. I was working in a salon. I was 24 years old. I dated some Mormon guys. It had not, none of those relationships worked. The only one that maybe could have worked, I couldn't possibly fathom being with someone who wasn't in the church. And he had joined the church and then kind of quit going to church. And then told me, he's like, I don't believe in any of it. And he went back to living his heathen lifestyle, which at the time, I could not fathom not having the church in my life.
It was all a matter of timing.
Right, right. And so, that didn't work. Like, I thought it could, but I just, at the time, I don't know. I guess I could say my head was buried in the sand. I don't know. He was a really nice guy.
Yeah.
We're still friends on Facebook. He's married, has a couple kids. And then, so I was working at Fantastic Sam's.
Okay.
Cutting hair. It was right before Labor Day. I was going that weekend. Like, it was literally right before Labor Day. I was going that weekend with my mom to take my sister down to BYU, Idaho. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And this guy comes in. Apparently, I'd cut his hair once before. I don't remember cutting his hair the first time. I remember the second time because he asked me out. And we're still together now, 9 years later. And so when he asked me out, like, I was in a negative place. I had been dumped by a guy who was supposed to be the kind of guy that, you know, you want to marry in the temple and be with forever. And he dumped me, and I'm like, well, crap, now what? Like, you know, I'm 24 years old, which really in the Mormon church, if you're a girl and 24 and single, you're kind of pretty old.
I was going to say that, yeah, that's...
I mean, I was 24 and single. Like, super single.
How many other people were 24 and single?
I mean, I had friends that were, like, close to my age that were single. I'm not gonna lie, some of them would probably be categorized as sweet spirits. They're my friends, they're good people. I don't care.
They're sweet spirits.
They're sweet spirits. As in, you know, but here's the thing, like, the Mormon church should not put an emphasis on looks like it does. Because it does. Like, you can say all day long that, oh no, like, Mormons are shallow.